All right, peeps, here's where it's at. In the one of the last videos, it was like 2 degrees. Now it's 55 degrees and soaking wet. All the snow melted, and then it rained for 2 days straight. So this is a good opportunity to get out to your new property and let's see what the rain does to it. You know, before you build a house, you might want to see where all the water sits. So we'll throw our little muck boots in there and we'll get on the road. Before we get on the road though, I didn't eat my sandwich for lunch today and it kind of got warm, so guess who gets it? These guys have no idea they're about to live in the woods pretty soon. All right, people, finally here. It's getting dark, but here's what we cut in the other day. And kind of just what I want to do is walk through here, and I want to see where the standing water is so that we know where we can or cannot put a house, for one, and two, what we're gonna need to put in a drive. And I think, you know, it's hard to tell on camera, but right here is obviously a low spot. You know, we may put in some type of culvert there just to help drainage. You know, we're walking through our little path here. It's, you know, look, it's wet, but I don't think it's too bad. So as you can see here, I don't know if you can see how it's darker. That is that little swale that was on that other piece that we were considering building on. And you can tell as we get back in here, it gets darker and darker. There's more standing water, and that's kind of because that swale dumps right through here, okay, and goes out that way. So with that being said, I think it would be smart to come in here with a skid steer or a Mini X and direct this water where we want it to then drain that way. That way we can have a relatively straight driveway. And you know, this is a lot of area to cover that's wet. You know, you'd need a ton of gravel, which is fine, but I think we could divert this water. You can see it through there. It comes right through here and shoots out that way. So, you know, it's kind of on this whole path. As you can see, we've got standing water everywhere through here, and we certainly would not want that for our driveway and for if we put a house back here. Now, we're already dry. Okay, we're, you know, again, we're soft, but no standing water now. And this is about where we would, you know, consider putting a house, because we want all of this for our backyard if we can. So I would almost like to keep it as close as possible to that standing water if we can get it diverted the right way and shaped the way we want it. So you can kind of tell, here's our little path, and we actually start falling off the other way now, start going downhill this way very slightly. And this is actually where, you know, this is where I had surmised we would put a house. This is still fine, but you know, it's kind of soft, but it's not too bad. I mean, it really isn't. And so you know, this would be a solid place. I'm gonna walk you back to our campsite so I can show you what the water situation is there. And then I'm going to turn my trail camera back on because I am leaving, because it's raining and it's getting dark. And you know, kids are scared of the dark. And I'm a kid, so I can't be out here in the dark. But you know, we're dry back here. You know, not dry, but we're not soppy wet either. Until you, of course, get to our little fire ring where we've cleared everything and it's kind of a little hole. You know, so we're a little wet here. But as far as over here, the rest of our little site, we're just fine. So everything's still here, no issues. So we're gonna go ahead and flip our camera on, put that away. Done. So let's take a walk over here so I can show you that swale from this perspective, just so you can see where all that water comes from. Keep in mind, a lot of this is for my own documentation, so that I can remember 6 months from now, when everything's dry, I've got a good idea of where all the water stands. So here's our little swale when it rains and snows for 2-3 days straight. That's probably a good 4 to 6 inches deep, which, you know, it is what it is. That's no big deal. You know, I think what my goal would be is, like I said, I got to direct that water so that it drains. And I think with a little mini X, or honestly even a skid steer probably, it's not like we have to dig a 2-foot deep trench. You know, we just need like a little swale and kind of divert that towards the back of the property, because it falls. The further back you get, the more it falls. So I'll be looking to utilize that fall for drainage in the future. Now, of course, we got to clear some of this before I can do any of that. Well, if you remember, I loaded up all them T-posts. That wasn't just for fun. I'm eventually going to make myself a little structure out there. And by structure, what I mean by that is something that'll easily blow down, that won't keep anything dry. So I'm going to use these pallets and those T-posts and some other garbage that I have laying around here, and waste my time putting that together so that it can blow down. But that's not going to be today. Today, I'm just heading out to the property, so, you know, just going to take some of these, just chipping away, you know? 1% every day, 100 days, you get 100%. Yeah, you get the idea. Good thing that was the last one, because my right shoulder is about to fall off. Just remembered I have to carry those in there. Great. We made it. It's definitely wet. So, this isn't where I was going in. See, I'm already confused. Here? Yeah. Maybe. Right here, yeah. This is where we're going in. Okay. So, just got parked. Actually been here for quite a while. And really just been walking around surveying, just like I did the other night. Trying to figure out where all the water is, where all the water's coming from, and what, if anything, I can do about it. And you know, of course, right now, with how overgrown this is, there ain't much I can do about it. So instead of that, you can see how there's just, you know, we got all the brush. So really, I've just been completely wasting my time with a pair of hedge trimmers. And I've been cutting down all this bramble and all these little itty-bitty saplings. Trying to open this up a little bit because the kids are coming here for the first time tonight, or today. So I want them to be able to walk through here without getting jaggers. So see how clear? See how not clear? This is kind of where I stopped. And again, I'm doing this all by hand, and it is taking forever. So hopefully some of you got that reference, and if you haven't, you're un-American. So anyhow, I got the old fire going, and I think I'm gonna keep on keeping on with what I was doing, because this is actually really nice. We got a nice little path here. So I'm gonna keep doing that for now, and just, you know, continue to spend time out here and evaluate and everything else. Wait till you see how ridiculous this is. You ever do something where you just kind of start asking yourself, what are you doing? Yeah. All right, doesn't look like I did a lot today, but used a lot of manpower cleaning this trail, just kind of cutting all this bramble away so that it's easier to walk, which I only got about 3/4 of the way, but did that today, kept the fire going, realized that my tarps are not tarping, so I went and got 2 new tarps, put over our firewood so that it's nice and dry for when we really need it out here. So we did that today, and I also kind of cut in one more trail that I want to show you that takes us back to a little clearing. I'm going to try to do this quickly so that we aren't just sitting here wasting time. So this is our secondary house site that we were considering, still are. I kind of cut this trail back quite a bit. So this is a little easier to walk through now, at least up to this point. And then right here is where I was thinking, which I've kind of changed my mind already on that again because it's pretty wet. So you take this little deer trail I've already went the wrong way. Take this little deer trail here. And the reason this is important is because we're going to use this area relatively soon. And by soon I mean like springtime. Kind of cut some of these branches away. Again, very wet, but we get through here. And we come to a little clearing. That's important because we need somewhere to put a little garden for this year, just so that we can grow something. And I'm thinking this might be the spot, just because it's open enough that it may get some sunlight. It'll certainly get the most sunlight on this property. So yeah, it's kind of a nice little pine forest here with a little clearing for whatever reason. I intend on taking advantage of that. It is super duper wet right now, but I think once we mow all this down, get some wind on it, and she will dry right up. At least I hope so. But yeah, so that's what I did today. I basically was a trail clearing guy, and the kids and the wife are on their way out. It's going to be the kids' first time on this property, so I'm looking forward to that. We're going to cook us a little dinner, a little campfire dinner, and then we'll head back to our current home and, you know, sleep in a house. So I think that'll probably do it for this one. It's kind of short and sweet because we didn't do a whole lot, but definitely happy with the progress, and I'm definitely really happy that I'm kind of learning this land, learning where it's wet, learning where it isn't wet, and everything else. So that's a win, and that's why we're out here. We're not really out here to necessarily clear land right away, because we don't even know what we want to clear. So that'll do.
Not with your brother around, please.
Really? Mommy, those won't taste good with a stick on them. Ah!
Better when it's frozen.
What?
Because the ground isn't muddy.
What?
What do you think, Charlie? Do you like it back here?
Yeah.
It's not gonna fit.
It's like,
You gotta leave it over there.
it looks like some other people it looks like all the other people are on that side, but only me and us are over here.
All right. I think we're all cleaned up with our new tarps that hopefully will keep the wood dry. Fire's burning out. I got to carry my stuff, my bag and my tripod back to the truck, and that is the end of it. So we won't be back here for at least another week, because tomorrow it's going to rain all day and we got stuff to do at home anyhow. So yeah, good day, a lot of things done, a couple things figured out, can't complain.